On this episode of Writing Tandem,
If you're creating content for your business's social media pages that you don't like, you don't find fun, maybe they're not educational or you don't feel proud of them or you're not entertained by it, you're just plain not excited about the content you're making, you may as well not create any content at all. Hi there, this is your host Vivian and you're listening to Writing Tandem, a podcast that is all things business, entrepreneurship, and the secrets to operating a successful business while still having a life you love. Whether you're a business owner on the verge of taking that side hustle to the next level, or just curious about the world of entrepreneurship, join me as I go behind the scenes of my own business and the businesses of others, unpacking some of the most valuable lessons you can apply today. Let's dive in. Welcome back to another episode of Writing Tandem. This week, I'm covering two little words that have become our keys to success when it comes to navigating the world of social media posting. These two words are the secret ingredients behind all the posts that we create both on our business pages as well as on personal pages. These two words have been a driver for creating personal joy and fulfillment as well as professional success through our social media. Before I share these two words with you, I do want to say I believe they will forever change the way you approach social media. I have had personal frustration at times with social media platforms, and I'm in the business of storytelling, marketing, and helping businesses grow. So social media is a must in my world. And even then, there have been times I wanted to be done with it all. However, adopting these two words, into my way of doing social media has opened a whole new world of possibility. So, are you ready to hear what these two words are and what it's all about and how this has just changed everything for me? All right, well, let me tell you. These two words make up one of our core values, and they are create delight. Creating delight on social media is, I believe, the most forgotten or ignored key to success within any small business's social media pages. And let me explain. Creating delight on social media is, I believe, the most forgotten or ignored key to success within any small business social media pages. Creating delight is one of our core values here at TandemWorks, and it's kind of funny because Michaela, my business partner, doesn't like the word delight. But we couldn't really come up with a better word at this point. However, when she hears the word delight, I think she thinks of like whipped cream on cupcakes and things like that, which has nothing to do with our business. But sometimes when creating core values as a team, you have to be willing to compromise on exact word choice and just understand like the meaning behind them. And she did exactly that, at least until we find a better word. So for now, it's create delight. And if you're curious about how we created core values for our team, be sure to check out episodes 1 and 2, where I talk about all things core value related. Okay, so back to this here. So about this idea of creating delight and specifically creating delight on social media, I believe this is one of the most overlooked and yet most important tactics you can use to build your business and create an online presence. There are 4 key areas you can apply the concept of creating delight that will change everything for you and make your social media presence stand out above the rest. And this is something that we hear clients ask for over and over again. This is the thing that so many business owners want. How do I stand out above the rest? How do I look different in such a saturated world or where there's so much noise? Well, this is it. This is important because as much as you may find social media frustrating, and trust me, I hear from many, many business owners who literally say they avoid social media or have frustration about it that creates terrible anxiety, or they don't find social media to be very helpful for their business. And it becomes more of a chore, or it's just something they do because they feel they have to. Hear this all of the time. And I think this is all super unfortunate because though, yes, social media can have its darker sides and frustrations, it still is a wonderful tool for impact, for growth within your business, and it can be a source of enjoyment. When you apply the concept of creating delight to your social content, everything changes. Here's how it works. Like I mentioned, there are 4 key areas where you can create delight, and this changes everything. First, when you think about your social media and the content you're making for your business's pages, You've got to create delight for yourself first. Yep, you first. And here's what I mean by that. If you're creating content for your business's social media pages that you don't like, you don't find fun, maybe they're not educational or you don't feel proud of them or you're not entertained by it, you're just plain not excited about the content you're making, you may as well not create any content at all. Because we, as the readers of that content, we all know. It's easy to think you're kind of anonymously making these posts and putting them on social media and that you can make this passing content. But I'm sorry, friends, we all know when your heart is not behind your post. So the first thing to think about is how can I create delight for myself when creating content for my social media? What gets me excited? What do I love to talk about? What am I proud of? What's just plain fun to think about? Make content about that. Another aspect of this tactic is to create the types of content that jive with you. It's easy to read and listen to all the experts out there that say you have to make entertaining posts or you have to make videos. You have to take amazing photos or make sure they're 30 seconds long or 5 seconds long, or your grid needs to all coordinate, or you need long posts or short posts or audio posts. There's a lot out there, right? So ultimately, yes, there are some key principles that will help your posts reach more people, and some of this advice is certainly worth considering. But the first step here, my friends, is to create content in a way that you enjoy. Create delight for yourself in this. The fact is, we won't do things we don't enjoy for long, right? You know this is true. You try to do things because you think you're supposed to, but if you don't enjoy it, you won't do it for very long. And social media is something you have to be in for the long game. Consistency is critical. So you need to choose to create content that you feel great about putting out consistently. So you need to think about the types of posts that you're going to enjoy making that bring you delight and make more of those. If you dislike posts that use those grabby stop words to grab attention, but maybe you love to create scroll-stopping images, then lean instead into those eye-catching graphics. Be the best at that. If you love to hop onto video and talk off the cuff, make your thing going live on your social media profiles. If you're all about incredibly gorgeous grids on Instagram, lean into that and do it so well it can't be ignored. If you like to give step-by-step instructions or create helpful guides, make that your thing. So here's the thing. I hear business owners say all the time, well, I just don't get this social media stuff, or I don't know how to make that content they say I have to be making, or I'm not good at it, so I guess it's just not going to work for me. The key here is to stop thinking you have to do all these different types of content. Instead, find the types that you do enjoy. Lean into that. Because there are all kinds of great ideas and tactics out there that you can use for social media, and lots of them work. But here's the thing. The ones that work the best are the ones that you actually do. And if you don't like doing them, you won't do them. Now here's the thing. There will be some types of content that you don't love, but they kind of are what's needed. So here's a couple of real life examples of this. I love making videos. But Michaela is great at reminding me that it's important to have other types of content too, because not everyone can listen to a video all the time. So written content does have its place too. Michaela and I were talking about it just last week. We like to make different types of content. Michaela is great at writing. She loves coming up with great captions or writing blogs, and she makes terrific visual guides. So she doesn't make video types of content as much. I, on the other hand, don't like writing. I'm not as skilled at it or as witty as she is. So for a long time, I struggled with social posts, feeling really anxious about my captions, and so I was avoiding it. By contrast, though, I love making video and audio posts. I think it's super fun to go live on social media and create content that way. I like the podcasting. Michaela runs from the camera. She does not want to get on video or do a live ever. For a while, we kind of struggled through this, me feeling like I needed to write more and her feeling like she needed to show her face on camera. At some point, we realized, though, we're much better at creating content when we focus more on what creates delight for us rather than stress. So now I focus on video content and she focuses on written content, and it's kind of magical. Though I have learned some tools to help me feel more confident when I do write content, and Michaela will occasionally jump on camera, we focus primarily on the wheelhouse that brings us delight and not dread. And we make more content because of it. We're not avoiding it. Now here's the thing. There will be some content that you know your business needs or would resonate better on a certain platform, but it's not your thing. So you do have some options here. You can learn some tactics to make those types of content less anxiety-laden for the occasion they're needed. You can also ask for help from your team or friends to support you in making those types of content. I will often write content now, but Michaela will look at it or record a video, and Michaela will come up with a title or write the caption to go with it. So we kind of bounce off of each other a little bit that way. You could find somebody that you could do the same with. You can also delegate certain types of content creation completely out to others. It's always great to pull in your team and lean into their strengths. This creates rich variety, and it includes other stakeholders in your business. If you don't have a team to lean into, consider hiring out some of your content creation. Keep the content you love creating in your wheelhouse, so in my case, like videos, I do the videos, and then find good partners to create the other content you need. You can hire other vendors to do that. Delegation is a terrific way to create delight for yourself. It's fun to include others and see how much better things turn out with collaboration. It's also fun to watch a team member get engaged or to work with a vendor who opens you up to new ideas. Not to mention it feels great to free up space in your own mind and day to focus on other things that you're amazing at. Okay, so let's talk about the next part of creating delight. You can create delight for your team. Social media is one of the most underutilized tools for creating delight within your own team. Now, before we go deeper, let's clarify what your team means. For some of you, you have a formal team or staff that you lead, so pretty easy to make the connection there. But even if that's not the case, my hunch is you still have a team or tribe of people who support your business, and this is worth noting. These could be vendor partners, contractors, mentors, or friends who support you. Think about people like your banker, your accountant. Maybe it's the Chamber of Commerce or friends you ask for advice. Heck, I think of Sally over at Firespring, which is a local print shop, and she's kind of part of our team. She helps us look great and makes impossible deadlines happen for our business when it comes to all of our print needs. So when I say team, take a pause and think about all the people that encompasses. Okay, so how does this idea of creating delight on social media pertain to your team? Well, what about publicly declaring your team's awesomeness on social media? Yes, this is so overlooked and it's incredibly valuable. Celebrate your people. Celebrate the people who make your company a success. Recognition shows your people that you value them, that you notice their contributions to the success of your brand. It builds an important sense of community, and what better place to do that than on social media, which is all about community. It's also uplifting and motivational when you share about your team. You can show how that person is tied to your success and goals. What a great way to shout out your appreciation. And in the case of a vendor or a contractor, it has this added layer of promoting them to others, and that's a great win. With your team or staff, it's an opportunity for their broader community to also appreciate what they do and how awesome they are. There's a lot of times people don't even know what their son or daughter does, or even their own spouse. So it's fun to showcase them in a public way on social media. It also shows your clients who your team is and who they're working with. When you create content about your team, you turn the delight volume up for everyone. And it's so easy to praise and talk about other people. It creates such a fun feeling. Your clients appreciate that you appreciate your people. Your team appreciates that you appreciate them. And you have an opportunity as a business owner to practice gratitude and appreciation for the people who make your business a success. That's always a good reminder for business owners. When you are appreciative and grateful and you shine a light on others, it is a deposit into the relational bank that you have with each person. Those deposits are important because there will be times when you have to withdraw from that bank. So make sure there's something there to draw on when the time comes. And praising and showcasing people who make your team awesome on social media is one of the most delightful ways to do that. I have an example of a client we introduced this idea to for their social media. Barley's is a local restaurant, and they had us take over their social media posting a couple of years ago. And one of the ideas we had was to do a regular, what we call Meet Us Monday post on their Facebook and Instagram profiles. The idea was to highlight their team. The kitchen staff, the wait staff, bartenders, vendors, just really shout them out, showcase them. At first, there was uncertainty about how people on their team would respond. Would they be embarrassed? Would they want to participate? It's funny because at one point, the owner literally said, we're probably going to have to pay people to get their photo taken and even do this thing. And photo was a big part of this. We wanted to honor and value each employee by ensuring that they had a fantastic photo to go along with their feature post. It was another opportunity to create delight for them. There's nothing worse than trying to recognize people, especially in a public way, and not ensuring that they have an opportunity to appear at their best. We see this all too often, well-meaning businesses trying to honor an employee and then posting a photo of them that is not flattering. And you've kind of just undone all the honor you were trying to give, and they don't want to share that post and they aren't excited about it, right? So keep this in mind. Honor them well, and when including their photo, make sure it's a photo that they love, creates delight for them, and they're not going to be embarrassed by. So as it turned out with this whole project that we did, the team was cautious at first, maybe the first 3 features or so. And now, though, we've found that as we've done this for probably a little over a year, the staff are asking when they get to have theirs done. We walk in to do these posts with their staff, and other staff members are like, hey, what about me? When do I get to have my highlight, my feature? New staff have seen these before they were hired, and they're excited to work somewhere that they know they'll be recognized. We've had team members literally get emotional and shed some tears over having a great photo done, or by being celebrated in this very public way. That's big stuff, friends. Don't overlook the power of celebrating your people on social media and creating delightful moments for them to shine. Okay, so let's talk about creating delight for your clients and customers. Notice that this is point number 3, and it's in place number 3 for a reason. I believe creating delight for yourself first, and then creating delight for your team is the most essential, and where I suggest focusing your social media efforts first. I see all too often a mistake that I want to save you from, a mistake that I was making myself in the early days of being in business. Rather than creating delight for my clients and potential customers on social media, I was boring them with content all about me, my thing, my brand, and you know what? That's really natural. It's kind of the first place people focus their content creation on. Oh, this is like a billboard where I'm going to plaster all these things about me. However, telling all about us, me, we, I, what we do and how we do it and why people should contact me and what we're all about, well, it's kind of boring and annoying. So a little news flash here for everyone. This rarely creates delight for your clients and customers. When you sit down to create content, I challenge you instead to think about the person on the other side scrolling past your post and ask this question. Remember, these are flesh and blood and real people. So ask these questions. Is this post them focused or me, we focused? Is this post going to create delight for them in some way? A majority of your content should be focused on creating delight for others. Now, that might mean it's going to make them smile, maybe it's going to give them big belly laughs, or it might mean they gain a useful piece of information, a nugget of encouragement, or some piece of information that makes their life easier. There are many ways to create delight through social media. This is a major point, so if you've wandered off, come back to me here and tune in. If you want to maximize your social media pages, then you need to focus on creating delight for your audience. Focus all of your content on the needs, wishes, and interests of your client. A few ways you can do this are by staying true to your clients, remembering who they are, and making content for them. You can create a vibrant community and invite them in. Your social media pages, they're a place for two-way conversation. So invite them into a conversation. Listen to customers' feedback and respond. Be sure to respond back to those reviews or to those comments and respond in a way that's very human. Think about how you can solve your customers' problems through social media and through the posts that you're making. And then be enthusiastic. Stay positive and solutions-based. You can also personalize your interactions. Perhaps you name people or tag people, or you get on there and you name somebody who wasn't even on social media, but you say, hey, so-and-so had a question this week and I wanted to address it here for them and for everyone else. Personalization is key, and it's such a fabulous way to create delight. Who doesn't love to be recognized by name? You can also provide the best quality help possible. Everyone recognizes a mediocre post. It's pretty easy to sniff it out. So provide the best quality in the post you can. And last, have some fun. When you have fun, so are your clients, and that creates delight. Okay, last point here, and another area you can create delight. This is one of my favorite things to do on social media. Creating delight for my community. This might be a Facebook community, or this might literally be my city or state or group of people I kind of call my tribe. There are various communities, and you know what yours are. But one of the most delightful things you can do on social media pages is create delight for your communities by showing up as an active member, contributing, shining a light on things well done, maybe surprising community members with praise or recognition, promoting others. When your business promotes others and showcases successes and lends support to your community, you turn up the delight volume to 11. This is where your business will start to have incredible impact on the broader community. And that is one of the coolest things you can possibly do for your business and for your social media. Think about it. How good does it feel when you see people celebrating others? How good does it feel when somebody celebrates you and your business? They are literally dumping buckets of delight into the waters that lift up all the boats. You can be the business on social media that does this. Be the one everyone is talking about because you talk up others and lift them up. I was doing a little research on what happens when we celebrate the success of others, and these were a few key attributes that stuck out to me that I had to share with you. First one is, when you do this, you will feel happier. It just plain feels good. And this takes me back to point number 1, creating delight for yourself. It's more fun and it makes content creation fun rather than a chore. Emotions are contagious, and it's true that negativity breeds more negativity. But the beauty of this is that positivity breeds more positivity. And we can certainly use more positivity on our social media, can't we? When you celebrate others on your social media, you start an incredible feedback loop of positive thinking in your own brain. And bonus, you're also doing that in the brains of others. When you're doing this as well, it makes those little hiccups that might be holding you back from your social media that much easier to overcome. Who cares if it took a minute to figure out how to load the graphic? What does it matter if the words weren't perfect? If you were lifting other people up, you're going to feel happier, and those things are going to become easier. Okay, here's another one. When you do this type of creating delight, where you're lifting others up, you halt the comparison game. And this is a powerful one. It is super easy as small business owners to compare ourselves to others. I am guilty of this, and I'm going to take a guess that most of you are too. It's one of the dangers of social media, the constant scroll of perfection, the highlight reel. And as business owners, we get sucked into this too, comparing ourselves to other businesses, comparing ourselves to business owners we think are doing something better than we are, comparing ourselves to businesses who we think have it all together. But when you focus on celebrating others, you naturally take energy away from comparing yourself and your business to theirs. I have found this often opens up a really neat thing too, a private channel of communication with others. I've posted publicly about other businesses and people, and here's the cool thing. They've actually reached out through a private message and started a convo, and I got to become a student then and gain knowledge from this other business that I admired. And they in turn have shared candid behind-the-scenes look into their successes and, by their way, their struggles too. And that has huge value. Okay, another thing that can happen when you do this, you will be inspired and you will inspire others. It's incredibly refreshing to see what others are doing. It also sparks ideas. And it makes me think about that saying that iron sharpens iron. How cool it is to be that. Okay, last up here. When you do this, when you celebrate other businesses on your social media, you're also creating opportunities for your own business. When you celebrate with others, you are literally embedding yourself in their brain. They can't forget you because let's face it, you're going to stand out. There are way more businesses that are too busy or too self-absorbed or playing the comparison game too much or too in competition that their business doesn't take a moment to come up for air and look around and celebrate others in their community. So when you do this, even for businesses that you don't work with yet, or for community things that are not paying you, right? When you do this and you celebrate those people or those businesses or those organizations in your community, they are going to remember you. And successful people, they remember the people who legitimately supported them, and that comes back around. So creating delight through your social media pages is the core of successful content plan for your business. I guarantee that it is. I have found this to be true over and over again. Having struggled in the past with social media, having not been sure if it was going to work for our business, feeling really frustrated trying to figure it all out. As soon as I flipped the switch and realized really my purpose here on these social media pages, my business pages, I'm not just talking personal pages, my business pages is to create delight. To find a way to create delight for myself, to find a way to create delight for my team, to create delight for my clients and customers, and to create delight for my community, everything changed. It got really fun. And it doesn't matter what platform you're on, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, Snapchat, or whatever is coming next. There's always something coming next. I guarantee these principles apply across the board. These two words, they apply no matter what. Create delight. And challenge you to think about how to create delight for yourself, honing in on the content you love to make the most, the stuff that gets you revved up. And then I'm going to challenge you to celebrate your team and involve them. After that, start layering in creating delightful content for and about your clients. And then finally, take it to the next level and start creating delight for your communities through your social media pages. Your business has the potential to create an incredible legacy for yourself, your people, and your community through social media. You get to choose how you show up there. And I encourage you to show up ready to delight on your business's socials. All right, so I'd love for you to tell me what you think about this concept. Leave me a comment or reach out through any of the contact options listed in the show notes, and I promise you're going to hear back from me. Okay, friends, one more thing before you go. If you're curious to learn more about how to create content that brings delight and creates the impact you want for your business, would you reach out to my team at TandemWorks? This is something we are passionate about, and we've created fabulous post-creation service called the Social Sidekick, specifically for business owners like you. TandemWorks' mission is to help small businesses and organizations creatively solve problems, create winning strategies, and seize opportunities and tell their stories better. If you ever want to chat or reach out, please do. You can reach out via the contact links in the show notes because we are here for you. All right, be encouraged and do great things, and I'll meet you in the next episode of Writing Tandem.
Writing Tandem is recorded on location at the studios on South 4th in Council Bluffs, Iowa, in cooperation with Todd Studer Productions.